Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Culture Shock, the show reminding you that Twitter will allow slurs like Nazi, racist. But if you say the other R word, which is retarded, they will ban you instantly, or in other words, put you on a week's timeout. Yep, that's what happened to me, folks. I'm no longer on Twitter. I have been banned permanently, actually. So my account is gone, my followers are gone, everything is gone. But the people who call are still on Twitter. So, Twitter's terms of service and their act of conduct, or whatever you want to call it, is very, very vague. So we're going to get into what actually happened, because it is a very subtle psychological nuanced way to shut people up. People are telling me, oh, it's just Twitter, you shouldn't be on there 24/7 anyway. That's not the way I see it. The way I see it is that you have a major platform that is silencing anybody who doesn't speak the buzzwords of the left. Now, those people who called me those names obviously were on the left. You know how I can tell they were on the left? Because if you go to their Twitter bio, if they have anything along the lines of Black Lives Matter, their pronouns, their sexuality, free Palestine, anything of those amongst many more, that is a clear indication that A, these people aren't wrapped so tight, and B, that they are on the liberal left, the leftist, Marxist left, the crazy Karen screaming left. All right, so we're going to get into what actually happened. And yes, I am trying to appeal it. I've already been in touch with Twitter support, but that's only a one-way conversation because I haven't heard shit back. So we'll see what happens. But in other news, if you don't follow me on Parler, Minds, Instagram, I do have a Discord server. Now is the perfect time to do so. I do miss everyone on Twitter. I'm sorry that I can't be there to help the fight, but there's nothing I can really do at this point. So if you follow me on Twitter and you're watching this video, the links to my Minds, my Instagram, my Facebook, my Discord, my Parler, that's all down there. Go give me a follow. I really do miss you guys. So without being said, please like and subscribe to the channel. Again, this is more than the perfect time to subscribe to my channel. If you're watching me on Twitter, if you don't no longer see me, but you're watching this video, please subscribe to the channel, get on this bandwagon, because right now it is a very crucial moment in time that we need to kind of fight back against this. Not kind of, we need to fight back against this culture war, because it's going to get ugly really fast. All right, so what happened? Well, I can tell you that it wasn't my super straight pride post that I have been posting up over the last week since Pride Month started. But it was getting a lot of flack, a lot of people coming at me saying, this isn't really a sexuality, you can't be super straight, yada, 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 men are women, women are men, blah, blah, blah. And that wasn't even the bulk of it. But there was a situation on Twitter where my boy, Geek Hero Bubba, I don't know if he tagged me in or if I just jumped in, kind of seen in retrospect, probably should have just left that one alone. But I can't help myself. It's Twitter. You got to jump in and help your boy out sometimes, help anybody out with some reality shattering facts to kind of help the situation, but people aren't going to take facts. So again, in retrospect, I probably should have stayed out of it. Long story short, we had a Marxist BLM critical race theory person come at us, and I called their ideology retarded. Now, again, there is no context in which that was a derogatory way to say that, retarded. Back when I was growing up, we used retarded all the time, and it wasn't literally mean that someone was retarded. It literally meant that something was stupid. Same thing when using gay. We used to say, man, that's really gay. It wasn't mean the homosexual meaning that gay was. It meant that it was stupid. So again, I still talk like that. A lot of people still talk like that. Man, that's stupid, retarded. We still talk like that. It's not degrading any way, especially when it's used in a general oversense, not calling someone retarded, but calling something retarded. That's the way it was used in that context. Now, prior to this, I had used the word again. I called Chrissy Teigen a retarded looking duck with Botox, which is fair because she does look like a retarded duck with Botox, mainly because she had harassed a 16-year-old 10 years ago. Again, in retrospect, probably should have left that one alone, but people would just, again, it's not about seeing something on Twitter and just having to react. It's about the principle of the matter. How is Chrissy Teigen able to get away with harassing a 16-year-old, whether it was yesterday, whether it was today, whether it was 10 years ago, and not have any type of repercussions? I guarantee you, if anybody on the right side of the aisle, Republicans, Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump, anybody like that, they would have been on his ass or on their asses 24/7 for a week. You wouldn't have heard the end of it, I promise you. But someone who's in Hollywood, who is an elite, gets to say these things, gets to tell a 16-year-old to off herself, and it's perfectly okay. That's the principle in which I'm coming from. And you got to understand that when people on the right do these kinds of things, there are heavy repercussions for it. When people on the left do these kinds of things, it's like it never happened. And this is true going back as far as I can remember, ever since the election of Donald Trump. Sorry, this is street sweeper. Dude, you can do that on the other side of the street. Go away. Anyways, on the left side, nothing happens. Why? Because the left right now controls everything. They control literally all branches of government, executive, judicial. I don't know about the judicial, but they do control the House and the Senate and the presidency. So that's a lot of power there. Joe Biden's currently trying to pack the court so they can control the judicial branch. They control all the media. They control Hollywood. They control even social media. Twitter right now is basically another arm of the left. That's what it is. And they're using that power to quash any type of opposing, dissenting opinions or views in any way, shape, or form. This is why the Twitter's term of service and their conduct, whatever, is very, very vague. Okay? So this is what the Twitter guidelines hateful conduct policy states. And remember, it is extremely vague, but don't let me tell you that you can hear for yourself. It states, and I quote, hateful conduct, you may not promote violence against or directly attack or threaten other people on the basis of race, ethnicity, national origin, caste, sexual orientation, gender identity, religious affiliation, age, disability, or serious disease. We also do not allow accounts whose primary purpose is inciting harm towards others on the basis of these categories. Extremely vague, because I do remember last year when all the riots were happening, there were accounts dedicated to Antifa, Black Lives Matter, saying no justice, no peace, which in turn would suggest that people are going to be in danger. People died last summer. People were actively promoting footage of people getting stabbed, shot, beaten in the streets, and none of those accounts got deleted. They are still there. I checked. They're there. It continues, hateful imagery or display names. You may not use hateful images or symbols in your profile image or profile header. You may also not use your username, display name, or profile bio to exchange in abusive behavior, such as targeted harassment or expressing hate towards a person, group, or protected category. Again, very vague, and I have no idea what protected category is, but people on the left do this all the time. They post up hateful imagery, Black Lives Matter, people getting harassed in the streets. How is that not hateful or hurtful content? Yet I say the word retarded and I get banned permanently. I can't even make a second account. It's gone. I can't even get back on because Twitter's little bots will come at me again and decide that, well, we know who you are, and then delete that account. So again, it is stupid vague, retardedly vague, that this is what their conduct policy, but Twitter has no standards because it is only the people who mimic the cry of the leftist mob who are unharmed, because these people claim that they're part of a victimized group, i.e. LGBTQ, Black, whatever you want to call yourself. And if they go ahead and Twitter actually bans them for it, then guess what? These people are going to cry and probably end up trying to sue Twitter. We saw this happen back, and it wasn't on Twitter, it was with YouTube, with Carlos Maza and Steven Crowder. Steven Crowder called Carlos Maza lispy queer. Now keep in mind that Carlos Maza calls himself this derogatory name all the time in his videos. Yet when Steven Crowder said it, Carlos cried to YouTube for about 3 months until they finally decided to demonetize Steven Crowder's channel. Okay? So it's okay when Carlos Maza calls himself a lispy queer, but when Steven Crowder says it, it's bad and he needs to be demonetized for it. All these tech giants, Facebook included, probably Instagram, YouTube is a big one. I wouldn't be surprised if my channel gets cut off or anything like that in the near future. Twitter, big one. These people are all, these corporations are all just big ass arms for the Democratic Party, for the left. That's all it is. You see it everywhere. We saw it back in October when the New York Post dropped the story about Hunter Biden about a month before the election. Twitter banned the New York Post and made them take down the article. In fact, every other major social media site, including Facebook and Instagram, did the exact same thing. Fast forward about 4 or 5 months later, and now it's the top headline in any news. We knew about this. Twitter censored it. Facebook censored it. Instagram censored it. Everybody who people have social media accounts on who tried to share this story had their accounts banned. Going back even further, back last year in February, when people started speculating that the coronavirus, COVID-19, was leaked from a lab, people started getting their accounts deleted. People who had posted any type of suggestions on social media were banned. They had their permanent accounts deleted. They're gone. Now, fast forward just last week, a lot of Fauci's emails have been leaked. Over 1,000 emails have been leaked, maybe even more, about the coronavirus being speculatory or speculated being released from a lab. We knew this. No one took the speculation that someone ate a bat and that's where coronavirus came from. Really? You got people eating bats? I know they do weird shit in China, but really, a bat? Come on, come on. Ugh. Anyways, now they're coming out of the woodwork saying, yeah, it might have leaked from a lab. Even Fauci is saying, oh, this doesn't occur naturally in bats. Somehow it was probably engineered. Yeah, we knew that. But people who were called conspiracy theories had their accounts deleted. Twitter banned them, Facebook banned them, Instagram banned them for even suggesting that. And now look at it. People are still getting banned from suggesting that there was election fraud, voter fraud in the last 2020 election. And I can't wait until the news breaks that there was actually some type of heavy duty voter fraud going on. So that's the story. I'm no longer on Twitter. It sucks. I know. I miss all you guys. So if you can, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Parler, Minds. You can join my Discord server. It's down in the link. We're going to have some fun over there too. Just be careful on Twitter. If you're going to fight the culture war, fight it smart, okay? These buzzwords that Twitter's bots just point out that are taken out of context regularly is not helping. And it makes it very confusing because I understand where it's coming from. You don't know what you can or cannot say on these platforms. Back in the day, you could say whatever you want. If you didn't like it, you can just get off Twitter. If you don't like reading what was on there, you could get off Twitter. I'm not an important person. I can say whatever I want. If you don't like it, you can block me, you can mute me, you can get off your phone and go for a walk and enjoy the world that's actually out there. Not being on Twitter, getting all your news and getting mad and upset because something isn't going your way. That's all it is. But Twitter and all these social media platforms feel it's their need to quash what they deem as hate speech, but hate speech isn't fully defined. You can't define it. The only way that I've ever seen it defined is if a conservative says it, it's hate speech. But if someone on the left says the exact same thing, it's not hate speech. So very unclear rules. So be careful out there, folks. I understand your eagerness to fight back against the culture war, to go out and say what you need to say. This is why I keep to a very strict code that I never block anybody. I might mute them, but I've never blocked anybody on my social media platform ever. I wouldn't say ever. If I go back maybe 12 years, I might find 1 or 2 people that I might have blocked. But again, I don't block people. They just usually get bored and go and bother somebody else after a while. You just ignore them. They go away. They're like a bug. They just fucking go away, leave. But that's the story. So be extremely careful out there. I know they're trying to squash freedom of speech, and that is one of the very basic rules of having a healthy society. But it looks like the left just wants to destroy it. And until Twitter or someone goes after Twitter, might be me, and tells them, hey, this isn't right. You can't delete somebody's account on the basis of a extremely not only biased policy, but also extremely vague. That's not right. You need to clearly define in your hateful conduct policy what it is that would get you banned, because people say these things all the time. People still say racist. That's pretty bad. People call other people Nazis. That's even worse. People call each other coons. All this stuff. This is way worse terms out there that get called out on social media, and no one bats an eye. But I say the word retarded, and thousands of other people have probably used that word in and out of contact, and they've been either put on suspension or permanently banned. So it's very unclear. All right. So guys, again, follow me on all my other platforms. You can find the link in the description to all my other accounts. Hit me up. And of course, before I go, check out Ultima, The Legend Untold on my website, heroicstudiosmedia.com, for you to read. I just updated chapter 18 yesterday. So please go give that a read. I'm planning on going to print. I had a lot of traction on Twitter. People were excited for it, and now can't really reach them. So if you're watching this and you're on Twitter and you follow me, again, go follow me on my other platforms. And of course, subscribe to the channel. I got more coming on this channel, more on the way. All right, I got to go finish my Nova helmet. I will see you guys next time on another episode of Culture Shock. Take care of yourself. And remember, you can say any other racial slur on Twitter. Just be sure you don't use retarded. All right, see you later.